news we had last night while we were doing a live watch along for the different games played yesterday, the Germany game against Ecuador and also Curaçao against Ivory Coast. We got the here we go from Fabrizio and yeah, a bomber from David Onstin. Now it's here we go for Elliot Anderson to Manchester City for 116 million pounds. Initially, it was said to be 130 million pounds, and yeah, after I think in less than an hour, Fabrizio had to change that. Maybe he got a clarification on the exact figure that deal was worth. But even at 116, I still think it's very very high. Yeah, even I want to get you guys thoughts on this deal. Personally, I love Elliot Anderson and I have said this for months. He is my priority midfield target for Man United, and I I had a limit in terms of the price tag that I would want Man United to go in for, and personally, I don't really fancy this whole bidding war. I don't like it because it puts lots of pressure on that football player when he comes in. The eagerness to be able to deliver makes the pressure to be even worse or higher than it's supposed to be. So I don't really fancy when clubs go into bidding war. Yeah, you can enjoy that whole process of, oh, we won the bidding war and all that, but I honestly don't like it. And I love, in as much as I love the approach of Man United, that they only go for players that want to play for the football club. And if we don't get players that want to buy into the project, I think it's best to look elsewhere. But the main problem for me with this Elliot Anderson deal is the price tag. I think 160 million pounds. Yes, even though what we got first was 130 million pounds, and less than an hour later we got an update. It's no longer 130 million, it's 160 million. But for me, that 160 million is still too much for a player who had just 4 goals and 4 assists last season. The season before last, which was 24-25, he had 2 goals and 6 assists. Those numbers are just average midfielders numbers. They are average numbers. It's not like the numbers are spectacular. You would expect to, you expect that player to get 15-20 goals in a season. Yes, I know he's a midfielder, but as a midfielder, that fee is too much. If you're paying 160 million pounds for an Olise, Lamine Yamal, Kylian Mbappe, and Erling Haaland, that can be understandable, right? Even Vinicius Junior, even though Vini is not in the best form, but I just feel that price tag is too much. But I would like to get you guys' thoughts on the deal for Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City for 160 million pounds. Is he worth the price? Let me know in the chat, guys. Is Elliot Anderson worth the price? Let's see. Yeah. Let me get you guys' thoughts. Okay. La 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 la. Anish Khan and Aftab Gaming, nice to have you guys back on the channel. Aftab Gaming, it's been a very long time, man. Very very long time. Okay. Aftab Gaming says, I don't know why everyone saying Ronaldo the GOAT. Because he's the GOAT, man. Come on. And I've said this, when it comes to the GOAT debate, it's a debate that never ends. It's always there. Every time we get people talking about who they think is the GOAT. This person is not the GOAT. The other person is the GOAT. But it's a conversation that will never end. Even when these guys retire from football, the conversation will still be ongoing. It will never end. After Gaming says he only scored 2 goals while Messi has 5 goals. If you're checking in terms of goals, he has more goals than Messi in all competitions. So people are just so centered on Messi scoring 18 goals in the World Cup while Ronaldo scored 10. And he has 8 more goals than Cristiano Ronaldo. But the other side of the conversation where Ronaldo has scored more goals in all competitions, they bring up a different parameter to assess them. They will now tell you you don't have to look at the goals. But when it suits their own side of the argument, they bring in goals. Now you're bringing goals for the goal machine, the best and the highest goal scorer in the world of football. Aniskan says, hello bro, Barcelona to the court of FIFA, here we go. Yeah, it's not Barcelona, it's Atletico Madrid. Yeah, Atletico Madrid said they were going to sue Barcelona to FIFA because of their approach to Julian Alvarez. But I just think Atletico Madrid are just, but I say being too childish. If you don't want to sell a player, simple. You don't sell that player, or if you feel you want to cut ties with the player and he wants to leave, another club wants to pay, you set a price tag. If they can't meet your valuation, then there is nothing you can do. Since you've said if Barcelona wants to sign Alvarez, they should bring in 500 million euros. We all know that is way out of Alvarez valuation, right? But what I think, what I feel Atletico should do is sell the player since he doesn't want to be there. But if you don't want to sell him to your rivals, I understand that perfectly. You don't want to strengthen your rivals to weaken yourself. So I get that logic, but you can sell him abroad. You tell Julian Alvarez, see, we are not against you making a move, right? No problem. But we're going to get good value for you. Secondly, we are not selling you to any rival. Yeah, we are not selling you to any rival in La Liga. We're going to sell you either back to the Premier League, to Italy, Germany maybe, but not in La Liga. They should make that known to him. So he just has to change his mind towards that. MDK says, Noble, we are through to the round of 32. Is this South Africa? Yeah, I actually made a short video last night after the Ivory Coast game against Curaçao. We now have Morocco in a round of 32. We have Ivory Coast. We have South Africa. Okay, you're Australian. So these 3 countries have already qualified to the round of 32 from Africa. Then we have Ghana very much close to. I think Ghana has already qualified. It's just for formalities. That's what we're waiting for. Ziok says, where are you from, bro? I'm Nigerian, Ziok. Azam says, Saudi Arabia wants them to win against Cape Verde. I honestly don't think so. This Cape Verde team, I love their approach to games. They look at the opponent and see the best way to approach each game. And that is very, very smart. For example, their game against Spain, they actually knew that Spain has a better squad than they have. They had a plan, stuck to the executed it perfectly. Got a 0-0 draw against Spain. They are yet to lose a game, by the way. Cape Verde, no one thought that Cape Verde could even get 1 point in the World Cup. And they got 1 point against the European champion, Spain. So, I just think Cape Verde, there is something special about those guys. Yeah, there is something really, really special about them. And I believe they will qualify. They will win Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia need the win, be able to go into the next round. Yeah. So it's pretty much like a final for both teams. Yeah. It's a final for both teams, and I expect to see something really, really interesting in that game. MDK says, no, Noble, I am Australian. Yeah, Australia got to qualify to the round of 32 after their game, was it earlier this morning? A 0-0 draw against Paraguay. That's a very good result for you guys. You guys finished second in the group. Yeah, with 4 points. Paraguay also has 4 points, but I think Paraguay will make it to the round of 32, but we have to wait for other teams in the remaining groups to play, so we get to see which third place team will be. It will be in the top 8 of the ranking. So let's see. Azam says Messi is the GOAT. Well, that's for you, man, but for me, I still maintain that Ronaldo is the GOAT of the game. There are so many reasons for that. So many. Soypan says you are Lucas. Who is Lucas? Zio, which country are you connecting from? Random Fact says hello. Random Facts, nice to have you on the channel. Where are you connecting from? Dabby Mixer says, why don't you support Africa? Of course I'm supporting Africa, but I don't have any African country as being one of the favorites to win the World Cup. I have just 3 countries in Africa that I'm supporting. Number 1 is Ivory Coast. Number 2, Senegal. Number 3, Cape Verde. For Ghana and South Africa, I love my Ghanaians. I love my South Africans, right? But I am not supporting Ghana or South Africa. I already said Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Cape Verde. For Ivory Coast, they've qualified. Senegal have been knocked out because they have just 3 points. So these are the only 3 teams in Africa I will tell you comfortably that I'm supporting them to go as far as they possibly can. Can they get up to the round of 16? Maybe, maybe not. I think the only country in Africa that I actually think, sentiment or bias aside, that can get to the round of 16 with what I've seen them play is Morocco. Right? It's only Morocco that I can comfortably tell you, even though I'm not supporting Morocco. But I think if there is any country in Africa that will go to the highest level in the World Cup this edition, it's Morocco, because they are a very, very good team. Then for other European countries, I have 2 countries in Europe I'm supporting, one from South America. So, yeah, I cannot support all the African countries. Ghana and South Africa, I have a reason for not supporting Ghana and South Africa. Ghana, because I'm Nigerian, by the way, so Ghana, actually, we have a very, very sweet and sour relationship with Ghana. Then South Africa, it's different from Ghana, but just different scenarios. Random Fact says, I am from Mozambique. Okay, Mozambique. You guys speak Portuguese, right? Yeah. I know Mozambique. I think I've had someone from Mozambique once. Nice to have you on the channel, bro. Which team are you supporting in the FIFA World Cup? Yeah, you guys speak Portuguese. Okay. Okay, Portuguese. Obrigado. Obrigado is thank you. Thank you for joining the channel. Random Facts. Ayan Pandey says, Ahmad Hussein, do you know Virat Kohli? Virat Kohli, the cricket legend for India. Ayan Pandey says, Virat Kohli is the greatest, better than Ronaldo and Messi. Come on, man. Virat Kohli is just peculiar to India and cricket. But football is more global than cricket. Come on. Mr. Fantastic says, how far? I did, Baba, I'm good. Are you Nigerian or Ghanaian, Mr. Fantastic? Velny says World Cup without Nigeria feels like a jigsaw puzzle without pieces. With the things I've seen in this World Cup, it's even made me angrier than before in terms of Nigeria not qualifying for the World Cup, honestly. Because we had 10 countries from Africa that participated in the World Cup, and Nigeria is not there. It's really sad, but I think it's a wake-up call for Nigerian football. Yeah, it's a wake-up call because it pained me for Nigeria. A country as huge and big as Nigeria couldn't make it to the World Cup. It's crazy. Velny says, I can say better athletes than this Kohli. Man, what is Messi is way better. Virat Kohli, for me, I think prior to me starting my YouTube channel about 8 months ago, I never knew who Virat Kohli was. I honestly did not know who he was. Yes, I later found out he had the third most following on Instagram in terms of footballers, or no, in terms of athletes or sportsmen. But Messi is a global name. Ronaldo is a global name. Even if you do not watch football, you definitely have heard or seen Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. So these two guys are different animals, honestly. Dennis Beckham says, Noble, did you cry when South Africa made it to the next round? Well, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't happy that South Africa made it to the next round because I expected South Korea to beat them. But one thing I know for sure is any team that gets a win, you really cannot downplay their effort. So I just have to congratulate South Africa. If you watch the video I made, I just had to congratulate them because South Africa fought really hard to get the 3 points against South Korea. Even though South Korea needed the win or just a draw to get into the round of 32, but they fumbled everything. Yeah, so massive congrats to the South Africans. Also, Ghana, my Ghanaian brothers. But let's see how that goes for South Africa. They'll be playing against Canada. Canada is not strong enough. So I think I think South Africa is going to defeat Canada. There is nothing really special or spectacular about the Canadian team. If it's the US, I can say the US can beat South Africa. But for Canada, nah, there's nothing Canada can do, honestly. There's nothing they can do. Raymond Kangumba says, hi Lauren, how are you, Antonio? Should sign for Newcastle United for 41 million euros for Balogun, 43 million euros deal for Newcastle. Newcastle actually rejected a bid from Arsenal for 55 million pounds for Bruno Guimaraes. And honestly, Bruno Guimaraes is a fantastic player. And I'm not going to lie, I like his style. And one thing I like about Bruno is he's a leader. Not only is he a very good player, he's also a leader. And I always love to have leaders in my team because if you have a football team that is filled with leaders, young players who come into that team will not struggle, and the mentality and mindset in the team is going to be elite. Velny says, come on, my favorite club is Chelsea. So, Noble, what do you think that Chelsea signed Lacroix, Palestra, Bako, Kwenda, and Satpev? I don't know who Satpev is. Kwenda, I know Kwenda from Sporting. You guys signed him last season, so he's going to come to Chelsea in the coming season. Then Lacroix, I think Lacroix is a good signing. If Chelsea pulls off that deal, Enzo Fernandez will leave. Very much likely to leave. This Palestri, is it Palestra or Palestra you guys signed? I don't really know the boy. I've not even watched this clip to see what his game is like. But from what I've read, he can play as a left wing back or a right wing back. So he's more of a utility wing back player for Xabi Alonso. And from what I've seen and known about Xabi Alonso's style, he loves to play wing backs. So I think out of all those names there, it's Quenda and Lacroix that I would say are signings that I would love. Yes, the Quenda deal has already been sealed since last season. It's the Lacroix one that is yet to materialize. SE1 says, which club do you think Mateta should go to? Juventus, United, Aston Villa, AC Milan or Newcastle? Mateta. Felipe Mateta. Which club would suit him the most? AC, Newcastle. Which club would suit Mateta the most? I think I would go with Newcastle. Yeah, I think Newcastle would fit Mateta more than AC Milan or Aston Villa already has Oli Watkins. So for him to go there, but for Newcastle, Walter has not really done anything. Johan Visa, yeah, he got injured for most part of the season and he's not really gotten his feet in the club. So Mateta is going to do a good job there. And Newcastle has a lot of physical players. So he's going to do well there. 8R1 says, what's your preference about Iraq in the FIFA World Cup? Iraq, I think Iraq has just 1 point, and that was against. Has Iran gotten 1 point? Oh, okay. Iran played draw with, because I'm trying to confuse the names. I know they are two different countries. I'm trying to remember the group that Iraq is in. Let me check their group. Let me check the Iraq group. Iraq is in which group exactly? Okay, Iraq is in the same group as Senegal, France, and Norway. I see Senegal to defeat Iraq. So I think Iraq, they were just unfortunate to be in a difficult group. That's just what I would say about Iraq. They were just unfortunate to be in a difficult group. So yeah, it's a very, very tough one for them. Ahmad Hussein says, why is there a football rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana? Nigeria and Ghana are actually very close countries. And yeah, it's just, you have a border. From Nigeria to Ghana by flight is about 45 minutes by flight. So it's very, very close. There's this rivalry we have, right? Ghanaians see themselves as people who speak better English than Nigerians. That is one side of the rivalry between Ghanaians and Nigerians. The other side is the Ghana Jollof and the Nigerian Jollof. The never-ending debate online. Who has the better jollof? Is it Ghana or Nigeria? Then thirdly, Ghanaians have more stable power supply in terms of electricity, while Nigeria doesn't have a stable power supply. And you know, in Africa, Nigeria is the most populous black nation in Africa with over 250 million. Now, Ghanaians always use that to troll Nigerians and say, for example, whenever they are playing football games or whenever Ghana loses a game and Nigerians are trying to banter Ghanaians, Ghanaians will tell Nigerians that they should go and on their generators to use it to watch football games. So these are just one of many reasons why that rivalry is always there between Ghanaians and Nigerians. But one thing for me is it's not a rivalry that is purely negative. It's just like siblings rivalry. It's a sweet and a sour kind of relationship and rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana. So that's just the background to the rivalry between both countries. But I love my Ghanaian people, and I know the same applies to Ghana in terms of how they see Nigeria. But that rivalry will always be there. Gaslang says, hi, where are you connecting from? Airplane Freak says, Nigeria has a lot of North American specs vehicles. Rivalries similar to Ethiopia and Sudan, I guess. I don't think so, because Nigeria and Ghana has never been involved in any border battles, or anything maybe in terms of Nigeria and Ghana going all out to fight a war and all that. No, we've never done that. The only thing I know that has happened between Ghanaians and Nigerians is, I think in the 70s, Nigeria chased Ghanaians out of their country, and Ghana also did the same thing to Nigerians a couple of years ago. So that's been the only physical altercation between both countries. But when it comes to wars, Nigeria has never fought a war with Ghana. Rather, we've been very close brothers and siblings for many years, during the days of Kwame Nkrumah, before independence, by the way. Velmi says, it's nonsense always, but we miss Abramovich, man. Sign Hazard, Drogba 2 times, Aspilicueta, Ivanovic, and of course Ashley Cole. Yeah, Roman Abramovich was a God sent to Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie. Even as a Man United fan, I always envied the way he managed the club. Yeah, he was pumping in money into Chelsea steady. He was pumping money into Chelsea every single time. He not only saw Chelsea as his asset, he saw Chelsea like his child that he needs to groom, take care of, and do everything possible to make Chelsea one of the best clubs in the Premier League. He actually achieved that, because prior to Roman Abramovich buying Chelsea in 2003, I think. Yeah, he bought Chelsea in 2003, signed Jose Mourinho in 2004, and ever since, before he left, before the Russian-Ukraine war, he was very, very successful at Chelsea. Airplane Freak says, the only thing of instability I heard was Congo, just like Haaland and City. Congo, yeah, I think Congo, Brazzaville, and DR Congo, I'm not sure though. I can't speculate what I'm not sure, but I think there was a time both countries had kind of a fight. I think before Brazzaville was carved out of DR Congo. I used to call them Big Congo and Small Congo. Emmanuel says, morning boss. Emmanuel, nice to have you on the channel. Where are you connecting from? Yeah, I already have a poll on the screen, guys, and that was what we started the live stream this morning on. The 160 million pounds deal of Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest to Manchester City. Do you guys think he's worth that amount? Because I don't think he's worth the amount. At first, we got an update that is a 130 million pounds deal. Less than an hour later, Fabrizio actually doubled down, and it became a 160 million pounds deal. Now, this deal, he's a good player, no doubt, but the fee is just too much. I honestly feel the fee is too much. Ahmad Hussein says he's the one that turned Chelsea from mid-English club to one of the best in the world. Yes. And he invested heavily. He invested heavily in Chelsea. before the Arab money came, right? Roman Abramovich had already made Chelsea a powerhouse in terms of the money that came in to the club, the investment. He put his own personal money into Chelsea. Every Chelsea fan will never forget Roman Abramovich. Never. They will never forget him. That man made Chelsea what Chelsea currently is. Before he came, Chelsea was just a mid club, like you said. Velny says, we miss Abramovich like crazy. Those sensations feel stupid. Played a manager mode game on phone. I got Chelsea 7 Champions League in a row and won and won 6 Premier Leagues in a row. I can understand. It's when Chelsea had Abramovich as their owner, other clubs in England were jealous. For me, as a Man United fan, I was jealous because we've had a very terrible owner for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And I think it's been since 2006 or 7 that the Glazers bought Man United. And ever since, United has been in a very, very terrible state since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And Sir Alex has been keeping the things together at the club, but since he left, the management of the club deteriorated. Things were just getting bad. Winning the league title in 13 years now is not been forthcoming. Hopefully, the 26-26 season, maybe Man United can lay their hands on the league title. But let's see how that will turn out to be. Ahmad Hussein says, how the F you guys didn't make it to the World Cup? You better than many teams. That Fabrizio guy is starting to become so annoying. Yeah, Fabrizio, sometimes maybe when you get too much fame, you get to make mistakes here and there. For Nigeria, it was a shame. And many people have criticized the players. Some people criticized the former coach, Finidi George, and others criticized the FA, the Nigerian Football Federation, because they didn't pay the players their dues. The coach and his staff were owed salaries for months. So these are many more things will definitely hinder the performance of the players. So it's just a whole lot of problem. A whole lot. And it's very much similar to what is happening to Senegal in this World Cup. From what we've heard, Senegal has had many issues in their camp. Their manager and the staff not getting paid for months. All the players owed some monies that were supposed to be paid to them for months. So these things definitely will affect the players' mentality and their performance for sure, because you need to get these guys motivated. Yes, they are top professionals who play for big clubs in Europe, but that doesn't mean that you will not give them their money that is due them. Velny says, hope that manager mode can be played by Alonso. Chelsea were very much silent in the transfer market, but a few days ago they got, is it Palestra or Palestra, that guy from Atalanta. Like I said, I've never watched him play before. I don't know how his playing style is, but I'm looking forward to the new season. And as a Man United fan, I am very, very much positive. I'm not going to lie. I think the only competition Man United can have now is Arsenal, because they are the team. They are the team that have the most consistency in the Prem for the last 3-4 years. Yeah. Devi Muniandi says, rap like Uzi. Who is Uzi? Nicolas Lopez Bemon says, Colombia vs Portugal. Let's effing go Colombia. Um, Colombia Portugal is going to be a very tough game. Yes, it's going to be a very tough game because um both teams have qualified. Is it? Portugal has 4 points. Colombia has 6 points. Colombia has actually qualified automatically. For Portugal, not yet confirmed in terms of their qualification, but Portugal has 4 points from 2 games. So technically, they've qualified because if you look at other teams that are seated uh, on that third position with 4 points, Portugal actually has the best chance because Portugal scored 5 goals against Uzbekistan. So, out of the teams in that third place with 4 points, because they're actually second, by the way, they have the most goals. So, Portugal, for me, technically, they've qualified, but officially not yet qualified until they play against Colombia. But I think the game is going to be tough. But I would definitely go with a win for Portugal against Colombia. Velny says Neymar or Lewandowski on career basis. I will go with Lewandowski because he scored more goals than Neymar, if I'm not mistaken. And Lewandowski is a striker, Neymar is a winger. And I will say that Lewandowski had a more successful career than Neymar Jr. And one problem that Neymar had was the injuries. But if it's about flair, entertainment, yeah, of course, I have to go with Neymar ahead of Lewandowski. Lewandowski was just a goal scorer. Troy says, run my fade. What do you mean by that? Devi, who is Uzi? I don't know who Uzi is. Which country is he from? Verny says, corruption is not bad if I am not involved, but if I'm part of that corruption, I defend it. Yeah, that's what we have in the world now. People don't criticize the evil and bad things other people do because they are part of it. But if they are not part of it, they come to criticize it, and it's very bad. Stormtrooper says, congratulations to Japan for making it to round of 32. Yes, massive congratulations to Japan. I actually predicted Japan to win that game. I honestly did, but yeah, Japan were unable to win it. They were unable to win that game. But I definitely know that Japan will do well in this World Cup. I see them getting up to the round of 16. Maybe they might get knocked out. You never can tell, but I strongly believe that the Japanese team is a very solid team. Very good. Nicolas says, I think Colombia has a chance to win or likely draw, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that game, like I said, it's not going to be an easy ride for Portugal. That's one thing I'm pretty sure. But I expect to see a very, very tough tie. It's going to be two good teams playing against each other. Yeah, so I expect to see end-to-end football. Not maybe one team packing the balls and waiting to just get one counter to score. Both teams are going to come out to play the game. So I will go for a Portugal win, but I'll be looking towards a 2-1 win for Portugal or a 3-2 win. Yeah, I think I would rather go with a 3-2 win because that game is going to be end-to-end between Colombia and Portugal. Yes, both teams have qualified, but Portugal will want to see how they can get top of their group. Stormtrooper says Japan next opponent is Brazil. I don't know why Japan is playing Brazil. I honestly don't know. And I have a very weird feeling that Japan might beat Brazil. But for Japan not to win that game against Sweden, I'm going to change my mind. I will not go with a Japan win. Yeah, I will not go with a Japan win. I'm supporting Brazil as my third team to win the World Cup. My first team is Portugal, second England, third is Brazil. So I want to Yeah, I wanted to say earlier that Brazil will lose to Japan, but no, I'm going to stick with a Brazil win against Japan to qualify to the round of 16. Stormtrooper says CR7 all the way. Yeah, Ronaldo is the GOAT, man. The GOAT. Verny says, I think we might get new winner for World Cup. Yes. That's why I'm going for Portugal. And I have a very strong feeling about it. Very, very strong feeling. Devi Muniandi says CR7 or Messi. Bro, CR7 is the GOAT for me. I love and respect Messi. But Ronaldo, he's just a phenomenon. He's a special player. Yeah, I know Messi is special in his own way, but Ronaldo, yeah, that guy is a machine. Ahmad Hussein says, do you think Osimhen's agent prevented him from having a much better career? I wouldn't say Osimhen's agent prevented him from having a better career, because if we look at what Osimhen did at Napoli, he did amazing for them. Napoli were just, I don't want to say ungrateful, but Napoli did not treat Victor Osimhen right. That's not even a secret, right? They didn't treat him right. Someone who won you your first Scudetto, I think for over 30 years, or I think either almost or over 30 years, Victor won them their first Scudetto after the days of Diego Armando Maradona. And the next season, he was kind of okay, not perfect or to the level he was the season before. And the season after that, everything just crumbled. The relationship went sour. And was the president of Napoli, is it De Laurentiis or what's that man's name? And that man is one of the worst people you want to ever do business with. Very terrible president. And yeah, they didn't treat Victor right. We all saw what happened. Victor wanted to move to England, but Chelsea wanted to take advantage of Victor Osimhen. The money they were offering was really, really insulting. That we had rumors then that if you take out the taxes and everything, Victor will be left with something around the region of 30 to 40 million pounds, which for me, looking at Victor's quality, if he had come to the Premier League, he would probably get at least in a season 20 goals. That's how good Victor is. I think if you're talking about top nines in the world right now, you cannot count 5 top strikers in the world currently and omit Victor's name from that list. It's not possible, except you're being biased. So he's a top striker. Yes, you might have some reservations in terms of his anger on the pitch, but I think there are certain clubs or players that would want their teammates to have that kind of fighting spirit, that want to get the best out of them. It's very much similar to what people were complaining about Bruno Fernandes at Man United, that he always moans, he does waves his hands, blah, like saying all sort of things. But you need people who will demand everything and so much from their teammates, and you see them giving their best. So I love such mentalities, and Victor Osimhen for me is a big fighter. Devi Muniandi says, Nobu, CR7 or Messi? I've already said it. I'm a big Ronaldo fan, and Ronaldo for me is the GOAT. I love Messi and respect what he's done in the game, but Ronaldo is just there's this aura about Cristiano. Ronaldo is just spectacular. Eldan says, I'm happy because Bosnia and Herzegovina got through. Are you from Bosnia? Yeah, Bosnia got a very, very good results to not really go. I think Bosnia is third with 4 points. Whether -1, I think it's -1 or -2 goals difference. But I still think Bosnia will qualify because based on the group A, B, and C I've seen, and Bosnia I think are in group C. Is it group C? No, Bosnia are in group B. with Qatar, Canada. In that group A, B, and C, at least I've seen two teams that have not gotten up to 4 points. So they actually have a chance. But Bosnia were really good to win their last game. That helped them. Ahmad Hussein says, we want to see how Portugal finishes its group stage. I hope their performance will be as upward as it should be. Yes, I expect to see something exciting, interesting. If Portugal wants to go on to win the World Cup, they need to perform well. Not only perform well, get all 3 points against Colombia. It's going to send a shockwave to other teams because Colombia is one of the best teams in South America. When Colombia play against Argentina, right, it's always a tough game. The last Copa America Argentina won was, I think, against Colombia. They won in penalties or extra time. So Colombia are not an easy team to play. Nasha says, yo, Nasha, where are you connecting from? Etu Gadam says, we adore him, we love him, bro. Okay, yeah, about Laurentis. Yeah, the president of Napoli. That man is someone you don't want to do business with. You see, De Laurentiis and the former Spurs CEO, Danny Levy, those two people, they are two CEOs you don't, or presidents you don't want to do business with. Male Volent Kirby says, Senik has very fast 10. Come on, man. Eldan says, Rafinha or Alvarez? I'll go with Julian Alvarez. I love Rafinha is more direct, but I think Julian Alvarez is more complete as a football player than Rafinha. And he's also not injury prone. Rafinha has been having lots of injuries recently. Lots of injuries. Etugedam says, our president wants 140 million euros for him. Which player are you referring to? Okay, you mean Victor Osimhen. Nah, that amount he was calling for Osimhen was too much. Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea vet says, new here. What's your country, pal? I'm Nigerian. Where are you connecting from, Chelsea vet? Are you from the UK? Etugedam says, De Laurentiis made us crazy for 3 months in Osimhen deal. Yes, I said it. The president of Napoli, De Laurentiis, he disrespected Victor and he did not treat Victor right. You had an agreement with this player when he wanted to leave after winning the Scudetto with you guys. You had an agreement with him, a gentleman's agreement. You told him to sign a new deal. I actually blame Victor Osimhen for signing that new deal. But he, because of the trust he had with the club, they reached an agreement. But when it was time for Napoli to fulfill their own end of the bargain, the president said no. That if it's not this, if you don't get this, Victor is not going anywhere. They frustrated him. Eldan says, in March, Colombia, Uzbekistan, Kusanov slide to stop Luis Diaz and accidentally hit a cameraman. I didn't see that clip, man. I didn't see that clip. Kusanov has not had an amazing tournament, but Luis Diaz, for me, he's been balling. And I want to see how he will fare against Portugal. Is it tomorrow or Sunday? I think it's Sunday morning. Tangroma Wilson says, sorry, bro. I am in Mizoram. Where is Mizoram? Priya. Is it Priya is floss? Okay, you retracted your message. Chelsea vet says, yeah, man, Chelsea boy. Okay, so what's your thought about Xabi Alonso? Do you think Xabi Alonso, as your new manager, is going to be successful? Sergio Gala says, how much did City sign him for? By the way, hi Nobu. Welcome back, Sergio Gala. Fabrizio reported £130 million, and minutes later, he retracted it and went for £116 million, same as David Ornstein, who reported £160 million. So the exact fee for now is £116 million. According to them, no add-ons. But I'm surprised because the second bid that was put in was 116 plus is it 115 plus 6. They rejected it, so I'm surprised how they are accepting 116 now. Maybe in the next couple of days we might get an update on what exactly is happening there. Oleku, tell me something where I no fit to. Matt, is it Matkan Ulga says, show your muscle legs. What do you want to do with my muscle legs, man? Come on, you're a weird person. You are telling me to show my muscle legs. What are you going to do with it? Devi Muniandi says, bro, how much points has Portugal won? Portugal currently has 4 points. They played draw in their first game, and in their second game they won 5-0. So they are currently on 4 points. Colombia has 6 points. They've automatically qualified to the round of 32. So they don't have a problem even if they lose to Portugal. But they might want to carry on with their winning streak to make it 3-3, which it's going to be a very tough test for them against Portugal. Ahmad Hussein says, honestly, bro, do you enjoy watching Harry Kane? Yes, he's a legend and a complete player, but something about his playing style is unexciting. He's not the kind of player that makes you jump out of seat. Well, I think every player have a style and something peculiar about them. I think one thing I found very interesting and peculiar about Harry Kane is the fact that as a striker, he always drops deep to play the ball with his teammate. And you will still see him up front scoring goals. So it's not like when he drops, he doesn't score the goals. He scores the goals. Yes, you can say Harry is not the best dribbler, right? In terms of a striker coming to meet a player 1v1. He's not the best dribbler, but when it comes to finishing, his finishing is among the best. His work rate is also very, very good. Sometimes you see him behind, you see him up front. He reminds me pretty much what Wayne Rooney used to do back in the day for Man United. Eldan says, how you guys forgot Diogo Jota? Nah, Diogo Jota cannot be forgotten. His name always pops up from time to time, so he's never forgotten. FTB Ocean says, you said Sweden couldn't tie with Japan, but they did. Never underestimate the Vikings, brother. Turkey won the most useless match ever. Yeah, Turkey were, if they had won that second, even at least win your first or second game, they would have had a chance to qualify. And talking about the Japan game, I didn't see a win for Sweden against Japan. I actually expected Japan to win, right? Yeah, but the game ended up to be a draw. Very good result for both teams because both teams have qualified to the next round. So massive one for the both of them, by the way. X Shadow says, hello bro. X Shadow, welcome back. Guys, I want us to get the likes up, and if you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe to Noble's View. Kindly subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's get the likes up. Moses the Hunter says, what do you think about Ronaldo's brace and performance versus Uzbekistan? I was not happy about that game, Moses. Do you know why? When the game was going on, Ronaldo scored the second goal. I was just hoping and waiting for him to get the third goal, man. I was waiting for him to get the third goal, but it just didn't happen because I needed that third goal to be an icing on the cake, so we can have something to talk about. Yeah, but it was a shame that that third goal didn't come. But for the performance, I was very much happy with Portugal's performance, Ronaldo's as well. That was a perfect response to people who have been saying nonsense about Ronaldo throughout the week. Some ex-players, the likes of Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, all these guys wished they had half of what Cristiano Ronaldo had throughout his career. So they are just being pained and jealous about the young man. That's what it's all about, honestly. So I was very much impressed with Portugal's game against Uzbekistan. And Ronaldo, for me, did well. The whole team played absolutely amazing against Uzbekistan. I also expect same or I expect a better performance for Portugal against Colombia because Colombia is a tougher team. Eldan says, who are going to win, Norway or France? That game is going to be a very tough one, man. Norway, France is a tough game. It's very much similar to Portugal against Colombia, even though I know Colombia, in terms of their ranking in South America, they are higher than Norway is ranked in Europe. But I think that game is going to be tough. But I might go with a France win. I'm honestly looking towards that French side. The only thing that might make France not to win is because their manager Didier Deschamps is not going to be available for tonight's game. He's already traveled to I don't know if it's Paris. His mom died and he has to be there when she should be buried. But he will be available for the round of 32 games. So round of 32 game, I expect to see a win for France in that game. Let's say a 3-2 win, maybe 3-2, 2-1 win. That French defense will be tested. Yeah, I actually love the game. And I'm going to be doing a live watch along for that game. Ahmad Hussein says, it's not useless win at all. This match has backgrounds like political and religious. It mean much for them. Trust me. You mean for them to win against the USA? Well, Turkey, if we are talking about the team that I'm most disappointed in this World Cup, Turkey is number one. Yeah, Turkey and Senegal, these two teams, I definitely am disappointed in their performance, honestly. Elana Jamie Sek, is it Seko or Sako? Well, Elana Jamie Sako, where are you connecting from? Guys, for those who are new, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to Noble's View. Queen Baron says, Elliot Anderson is not worth the price. But it's... Okay, do you mean it's not his fault? Or you mean he said, but it's his fault, it's on... Okay, I guess you wanted to write, it's not his fault, it's on football's inflation, these ridiculous prices for players. Yeah, ridiculous prices, and I don't like the angle the market is going towards now, the transfer market. It's been going south. Anderson is a good player, a very good midfielder, and as a Man United fan, I had him as my main midfield target. But I said something, I don't want Man United go breaking the bank for Elliot Anderson. Right? There are some players you might want to go break the bank for. People like Lamine Yamal, Michael Olise, Kylian Mbappe, and Helen Haaland. These are the type of players you can go spend £150 million for, and you wouldn't even mind spending this amount because you know these guys can give you 40-50 goals a season. But not a player. I looked at his record. I love him, by the way, and I've been following him for a while. Last season, 25-26 season, Anderson had 4 goals and 4 assists. That's 8 goals and assists. Now, that's just a normal or an average. It's not normal. It's actually lower. It's just an average midfield start, right? The season before last season, which was 24-25, he had 2 goals and 6 assists. The 2 goals were pretty much below average. 6 assists for me, I would say is good. Is a good number. But there's nothing really spectacular about the boy that would warrant that £160 million. Like you said, I agree with you, Queen. The inflation in football right now in terms of transfer is crazy. Elena says, are you Kai Senat's part of the stream? Nah. I seems you're from the US, Elena. FTBL Ocean says, I think Norway vs France game is gonna be even better than the World Cup final. Now, the World Cup final, we don't know who is gonna play it, so let's not exaggerate the Norway game. One thing I'm pretty sure of is that we're going to get a very interesting game. The Norway game against France and Portugal game against Colombia. These 2 games for me, they are going to be very tough. Also, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia is another game people need to watch. That game will be very, very exciting. I am really, really looking forward to the game. Sincerely, I'm looking forward to that game. Elena says, because you look like Kai Senat's part of the stream, bro. Really? I don't see any resemblance between myself and Kai Senat. I don't. Dion Saiju says, Elliot Anderson is bad. He's not worth it. Now, I agree with your second part of the statement. He's not worth it. But that first statement, I sincerely do not agree with that. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player. But I just think that fee is too much. I said this last night when I got the update on the transfer. The ideal fee, like in an ideal transfer window, the fee for Elliot Anderson should be between £50 million to £70 million. It shouldn't exceed this. Like 50 to 70. It should not be anything above £70 million. In all sincerity, it's not supposed to be above that. But because, like, I think it was Elena, Queen said about the inflation. The inflation in the transfer market now is crazy. Clubs, football owners, management of football clubs, they have inflated the prices of players. I think in the Premier League clubs need to intervene. UEFA also needs to intervene because the numbers scored recently is just crazy. Imagine Matheus Fernandes, West Ham are demanding £85 million for a player who got relegated with them. That is absurd. It is really, really absurd. I don't find it funny anymore. It's really, really bad. FTBL Ocean says, let it be a draw. Mbappe scores 3 goals and Haaland scores 3 goals. I am pretty sure Kylian Mbappe is going to score in that game. Yes, I am pretty sure he's going to score. Can he get a hat-trick against Norway? Norway doesn't have the best of defense. That's one thing. But their attack are pretty good. They have a very, very good attacking set of players. So the attack is tough, but their defense is going to be a problem for them. Ahmad Hussein says, bro, you are a true Ronaldo fan. Is that because you grew up watching him in Man United or you like him as a player? Well, I've been watching Man United before Ronaldo started playing football, before he came to Man United. I've been watching football for over 25 years now. And Ronaldo burst into the scene in Portugal, the 2000, I think it was 2-2-2-3 season. Yeah, the Man United played against Sporting in the Champions League. He did well. Sir Alex went on to sign Ronaldo to join next season. Beckham left, number 7. Ronaldo came, and yeah, I've always been a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. Even in his first season, I think he scored either 4 or 5 goals when he joined Man United. He scored just 4 or 5 goals in his first season in the Prem, and he kept on improving as the season went by. Every season he does better than the previous one. I think when he matured properly was the 2-6 season. He did fantastic. Not really the best, but he did well in 2-6, 2-7 better. Then in 2-8, boom, like it was a crazy one for him. In 2-7 he was fantastic. 2-8, in 2-7 he came second in the Ballon d'Or. Messi came third. Ricardo Kaka came first. Then the next year, 2008, Ronaldo just exploded and he just broke several records in the Prem. Devi Muniandi says, how many years that Diego Jota died? It's been a it's not up to a year actually. July July will make it 1 year. Yeah, since Diogo Jota passed. Eldan says Portugal is going to face England, France, and Spain. That is if Colombia wins the game or plays a draw with Portugal. Then they are very much likely to face England in the round of 32, Spain in the round of 16, and France in the quarterfinals if they finish second. But if Portugal finishes first by beating Colombia, then they are very much likely to face Argentina in the round, I think in the quarterfinals. Then the people they will face very much likely will be Ghana. Yeah, I think they will face Ghana in the round of 32 if they come first. Mokoena says, who do you think will win the Premier League next season? The Prem. For me, I'll go between Man United and Arsenal, but I'm going to stick with my club because if we can get a good transfer market, then I think we can actually get to push for the league title next season. FTBL Ocean says, anyway, English players are overpriced too. That's another valid point. No Ban says, what you talking about, bro? We are talking about the transfer of Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest to Man City. If he's worth the price. We're also looking at the different teams yet to qualify in the FIFA World Cup. Anyways, I'm going to delve more into the World Cup now because we've been talking about the club football for about an hour now. So I'm going to move on to the to the World Cup. We'll look at other teams that are going to play their games today to see which team will make it to the next round. Let's see. Devi Muniandi says, can you give me your number because your tips about the football is the best. I can learn more. I'm not a woman though. Pinky promise. You can send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram handle is nobles_view. So you can send me a DM. You can follow me on Instagram and send me a DM on Instagram. That because I can't outside the live stream I can't chat on what's it called on YouTube. Aside maybe I post a video and you comment, I reply. But I also post on Instagram as well. So you can give me a follow on Instagram. Nobles_view. Afanguza says the temperature of a metallic sphere of radius r is increased by a small amount at. Come on, man. We are not doing a class here. We're not doing a geography class here. Why are you giving us the temperature of a metallic sphere? Come on, man. Let's see. I think I skipped a couple of messages. Raymond Kangumba says, hi, Ahmad Hussein. How are you? Come on, man. I don't understand what you usually type. Raymond Kangumba. Ahmad Hussein says the Ballon d'Or holder will say his word tonight and steal the spotlight from average players like Haaland, Mbappe, and Olise. Dembele, for me, he has not really shown his quality. Yes, against Iraq, he was better than that Senegal game, but I actually expect more from Ousmane Dembele. You are the current Ballon d'Or holder. Yes, in the Champions League, during the knockout stages, you did amazing, but come on, man. I actually expect better from him. In all honesty, I expect better from him. Mentor Gashi says Ronaldo or Messi. Of course, it has to be Ronaldo, man. Every time people come on the channel and ask me this, it's always the same answer. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's the same thing. I don't. the man is just unstoppable. Even at 41. At 41, he's still bossing it. So of course it's the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just a phenomenal player. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get it up. Let's get the likes up. And if you're new to the channel, let us know where you're connecting from. I'm going to go through a couple of news now, and yeah, I'll try to see how we can end the stream. But first, there are a couple of news we'll go through. Then I'll call it a day for the morning show. We have watch alongs today. We have a couple of interesting games. Like I said earlier, we have the France game against Norway. We have Senegal against Iraq. We have Uruguay, Spain. We have Cape Verde against Saudi Arabia. I honestly want to watch these two games. Yes, I want to watch these two games because I think these games are going to be very, very interesting. The timing, it's 3 hours difference. Whoosh. It's 3 hours difference between Norway against France and Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia. I want to watch these two games. But I'll see if I can get 2 hours of sleep in between. Yeah, I'll see how we go about that. Miss Ruby Jane says, oh no. Ruby Jane, where are you connecting from? Mentor Gashi, it's been a very long while we've seen you on the channel, man. Nice to have you back, Mentor Gashi. Have you read the papers? Do you hear what they say? Rising unemployment, cost of living every day. It's getting hard. Another suicide bomber win a box with your team kit. Okay, now we have an update on the Andre Onana move back to Trabzonspor. According to Fabrizio, a couple of minutes ago, he said that Andre Onana loan deal to Trabzonspor from Man United expected to include a loan fee and salary covered. So it's a good one. Not only are Man United going to get a loan fee for him, but Trabzonspor will cover the wages of Onana. So that's a very a good one. And also on transfers, like I said, Bruno Guimaraes, he's one midfielder I wouldn't mind having at Man United. And I've said this a couple of times. I prefer to have Bruno Guimaraes than Man United signed Sandro Tonali. I prefer Bruno Guimaraes. Not only because of his leadership qualities, but I think even on the ball and off the ball, he's good. Very intense. Yes, Tonali can shoot the ball from a longer distance than Bruno, but I really like Bruno Guimaraes' style. Now, Arsenal made a formal approach in the last 24 hours for Bruno Guimaraes, and they plan to make a bid of £55 million, which they did, but that bid was rejected by Newcastle. Newcastle said they are not going to sell him for that amount. So if Arsenal wants Newcastle to sell, they will have to up their bid probably around 70 to 80 million pounds. Bruno should be around 28 years. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes is around 28 years, I think. So it's I don't know. Man United have just been very silent after that deal for Ederson. But let's hope to see if the club actually has something really concrete. Yeah, and still on the Elliot Anderson deal, his medical has been booked in New York today. Like Fabrizio said, the deal cost 116 million pounds deal, no add-ons, all agreed with Nottingham Forest. But I find this very surprising because according to the news we got, Forest rejected 116 plus 5, and now they have agreed on 116, no add-ons. Anyways, in the next couple of days, we'll get to know if it's only the 116 that Man City will pay. Really says Ronaldo or Ronaldo? It's the same Ronaldo. Leah Bona Nkabi says Mbappe is better than Neymar. Mbappe is a better goal scorer, I will agree with you, but when it comes to like flair and dribbling, Neymar Jr. is better than Mbappe on that. Yeah, but Mbappe has pace more than him. Mark Delany says, hi, remember me? Of course I do remember you, Mark Delany. Welcome back. Picasso the Uplander. I actually prefer calling you that Picasso the Uplander now better than the Picasso, because I've been used to calling Picasso the Uplander for a very long time, and you changed your name. Harut Yumanyuk Yan says hi. Harut, are you from Turkey? Your name sounds like a Turkish name. D Rabbit says Manchester United board is a joke. If Spurs buy Tonali and Matheus Fernandes, it's a disgrace. That's a big one. I have mixed feelings about this. For the Matheus Fernandes deal, I sincerely think he is not worth that 85 million pounds. If West Ham doesn't want to sell him for 50 is even too much. I just think between 40 to 45 million pounds is what Man United should pay for Matheus Fernandes. If they are valuing him above that and Spurs are willing to pay 80 or 85, then Spurs should carry him. But I would rather Man United go and pay 70-75 for Tonali. Right? Yes, I know the whole gambling scandal. Hopefully that doesn't come again. But I would rather we pay 70 for Tonali or 75 for Tonali than pay 85 for Mateus Fernandez. I honestly don't think he's worth that amount. And considering the fact that West Ham got relegated, so you cannot be held ransom by a club that was relegated. In your opinion, if you think or feel he's that good, why did he not get you guys out of the relegation? It's as simple. So if you're even going into the bidding, the table to put a deal, you can make this known to them. If you feel this player was that good, you are valuing him for this amount, he should have got you guys up, not to get relegated. Really says, answer bro, Ronaldo or Ronaldo? I already answered you, Mariam. It seems you're just waking up from sleep. Mark Delaney says, really, can you say the same soccer player? Which soccer player is that? Okay, guys, I will have to end the stream here. I'll be back later tonight for the watch along we have today. We have the Norway game against France. We also have Senegal playing against Iraq. That's a tough one. Both games played in Group I. That's Senegal, Iraq, and Norway, France will play 8 p.m. UK time. I'll watch that game. Then the other game will be between Uruguay versus Spain and Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia. I'm still not sure of the Cape Verde Saudi Arabia game because that game is very interesting. I want to watch that game. I sincerely want to watch that game. So I will try my best to be awake, even though it will be at really, really odd hours for me. But I'll try my best to be awake for that game. I really feel the game will be very, very interesting. Picasso says, Noble's my favorite YouTube guy on the tube. Okay, favorite football guy on the tube. All right. Thank you very much, Picasso. I do appreciate that. Really, this is your name. I've always said, yeah, I know you are waiting for it to get to 14 days. But this your name is weird. Honestly. Your name is really weird. Oh my god. Alright guys, I have to end the stream now. I'll see you guys later tonight for the watch alongs. I'll see you guys later. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Or sorry, afternoon or morning, depending on wherever you're connecting from. Take care, guys. I'll see you all later for the watch along. Peace out.